Good afternoon. Today is January 24th, and as you can see, we had one crazy day. So in the overnight, prices got up to 44.25, and they dropped over 200 points down here. So you can see we went just below this measured leg, which would have gotten us to 44.25 or 42.25. We went just below that, and then just rocketed back up. And my screen won't even, there's so much price action that it won't fit on my screen. But you can see it looks like prices might be just attempting to test these highs from the overnight. So without further ado, let's get into this, and I'm gonna try and go quick because I'm really not trying to sit here and analyze all this. There's so much. So 5 o'clock came, I think, right in here, but we don't get a setup. It's just a first entry. And then over here we get this pullback, and you do get a break of the trend channel I had marked, and you get a first entry, second entry. This doesn't set up, fortunately for people following the rules. You get a doji, and it's not off the EMA, even though it's off the trend line. It's just a doji. So when you have matching highs up here, and that's a very bearish bar, you might take that. I don't think this actually probably this feels more aggressive to me. I think the better trade would be this one, this lower high. Yeah, that's a doji too, but it's a lower high, and it shows us that the EMA is holding prices. So that breaks us down into this range, and all I did was I showed the measured moves here, and that fit perfectly for this wider range that lasted about 15-20 minutes or so, actually like more like 30-35 minutes. And you can see we're consistently turning down at the measured move up here. So when we get I looked at this as like a new low, a first entry, second entry short right here. Actually, technically it is a new low anyway. So first entry, second entry short with a nice bearish bar. I like that. You don't want to take the lower high because you're right in the middle of the range. And the bias is super down, so I'm not going long in any of this. You can see here, this is probably giving us evidence that this is a midline of this larger channel when it finds resistance at that midline. And I don't like any of this, unfortunately, just because it looks very congestive. So that's a second entry short from this low, but I don't think you can take that. I don't think there's enough evidence. And we come down here, and we get this is a third entry. Oh wait, no, it's first, second. Yeah, it's a third entry. It looks like you probably could have taken the second entry as well and gotten filled. Let's see, 14 we'll call it. Yeah, so I really probably should have marked that, but I just don't like how this is. It looks like this is like one tick lower. So I think I like this, but it's a third entry, and it looks like they're just chopping people up, so you just don't know what's going to happen there. This is a range. You got a breakout pullback, but I don't think I can mark that. Correction, I'm not going long. Failed second entry long right here, but that's far from the EMA, too far for me. We get this potential trend line working down. You get a first entry, failed second entry long right here. And then we come back, and first entry, second entry. I like that. Even though the signal bar is not great, I really like that. And if you don't want to take that, you get a failure right here. So only reason I'm taking this one is because of the context of the day, which is just a very strong move down. This is all too far from the EMA. It shoots back up, first entry, failed second entry short, but I'm not going long yet. And we're just chopping around on both sides of the EMA. So don't get too eager in these situations. You do have a first entry, failed second entry long right here, but I think this is too congestive. We get a nice leg of correction here, and there was a reason I was okay with going long here. I think just because it looked like a spike and channel up. And so I have the highs drawn here now, but probably would have them right here. And I marked it blue. I should probably mark it green, but it is clearly a second entry long. I don't like all these dojis, but that's pretty clear that that's a channel up. And then we find some resistance, just chopping around on both sides of the EMA. And then we form this small spike and channel down, and then you get a first entry, second entry short. I think you can take that. I like that, especially with that strong move down. And then we get further confirmation after. I mean, we hit the trend channel right here. Then we get further confirmation with these two touches, and we get another spike and channel down. You make a new high. I was looking at this as one leg of correction here. So technically this is a third entry failure, but this looks like a first entry failed second entry long to me. Then we form this range, and I don't see anything I really like in there, just because this is choppy, very choppy, or else you might take this. But another thing is the signal bars today were just outrageously large. Here we get a second entry short off the trend line, but it's far from the EMA. You get a break of this channel, and you get, this is a third entry again, but it looks like a second entry off the EMA, but it's a third entry, so I marked it as aggressive. Also, it kind of looks like a failed counter trend break out of congestion. Then we get this leg of correction that forms a range, fails to the high side, comes down here, first entry, failed second entry long. This would have been off this trend line too, or very close to that trend line. That's where you would have had in real time. And so I really like this. Unfortunately, they stop you out and you don't get a runner if you took that on time, because if you got a runner on that one, that would have been like a 30-point move in 10 minutes. So that was pretty frustrating, but no big deal. Get some correction, and then we form this range. And I like this entry, first entry, second entry short, lower high at the top of this price level. I really like that. But then it just starts going sideways again. And then we get this, the first break of this larger blue channel as we rocket out of there. And you get, this is a measured move, two measured legs. And then let's take a look. So eventually I found this larger blue channel up, but originally I was, I had drawn off these two lows, but that wasn't really working. So I drew this yellow channel and that worked. So we're trending up, but we're not too sure. We're expecting to make a new low. Oh wait, no, that's actually, didn't we already get a break? Yeah, we got the break right here. So you get two measured legs, but we go beyond that. You can see it bounced right there, but then we keep going. And we form a larger measured move, which is this. And that's what ended up being the more accurate target. So anyway, we're moving up, but I'm still thinking that we're, you know, the bias was heavily down. So when we got this first entry, failed second entry, I was ready for that. Once it ticked one tick higher, I like that. But then we bounce off this trend channel, make a higher low, another higher low. That's a failed second entry short. So you can take that if you recognize the channel. Then you get a first entry, second entry. This is aggressive. It's not a great signal bar, but the buying is so strong that I was okay with it. You can see we failed to make it to the top of the yellow channel, and we get a break. And this is like a double top. Or actually, I didn't look at it as a double top actually, but this kind of looks like a first entry, failed second entry. That's probably why I marked it. But you can see it's technically like a third entry. But then we bounce off this blue channel, and you wouldn't have had that drawn. And this looks like a failure right here. So this is very aggressive, but it's not. It's like a second, third entry again. But that's consistent higher lows off that trend channel. And then we break that channel and just rocket up, and we just keep rocketing up. This is a second entry long right here, and then a higher low, but those are so far from the EMA. We had all these steep channels, crazy signal bars today. What a crazy day it was. And you get a failed second entry short right here. It's congestive though, and after the fact it's more aggressive than I'm thinking, because if you draw this larger blue channel, we just came off the highs of that channel, so definitely aggressive, but it does work out. And then we rocket on down and break this channel, and oh wait, we already had a break, so we had a break and 2 legs up to a new high. That's another reason why this should probably be marked aggressive. Then we have a break, and first entry, second entry, but that's too far from the EMA. And if you just wait, you're patient, first entry, second entry. I do like that. Close enough to the EMA. We come down. We're in this red channel now. You get confirmation right here with this lower high. You might look at this as a double top, first entry, failed second entry, long, off the trend channel, short-term trend channel. But if you're looking at this as an overshoot, then you're probably going to be too scared to take that. Congestion down here. We come down, bounce off the low of this red channel, first entry, failed second entry. I think with how bullish that bar is, I think you can take that. And we just start moving up again and get a break, leg up, and just not a whole lot from here. So that brings us to like 12:30. You could probably take a long in here, but this was just crazy day. And I'm not even going to go over my yeah, I guess I will. Alright, so I took 2. Let's see, did I mark both of them in the end? Yes, I did. So yeah, I do like this. Failure, yep, off the trend channel. Off the trend channel I had drawn earlier, and I took this one, and I'm okay with that one too, because that looks like a trap for the longs. So, but anyway, crazy day. I hope everyone did well, and I'll be back tomorrow. Doesn't even fit on my screen.